Hey guys, so I made it to chemo. I'm getting my chemo now. And I had a rough morning. I had a lot of pain going on, so didn't start out too good today. And it's okay, but I'm still getting pains here and there. And I said I was going to post a video about what I'm going through, so here it is. But really, what it's about, honestly, is last week or week before last, I can't remember, within the past 2 weeks, I watched a sermon by Mike Todd that was Here is Holy, was the title of the sermon. And God had placed it on my heart to come on and talk about that particular sermon and why it was relevant to my life as well as relevant to a lot of other people's lives because of course we're all going through something, whether it's physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, whatever it is we're going through. We have to recognize that even though we're going through that here where we are right now is holy. So that has been what I've been holding on to the past couple of weeks. I've been having a lot of pain. And just when I thought that, the pain was subsiding and it come back and just been having a lot of issues, and it seems like I've been in pain for such a long, long time. But I mean, I have obviously days where I don't have as much pain, but most days I have some type of pain. But some days are really worse than others. Like today was a really bad day this morning. So, and I'm healing from this. That has nothing to do with the cancer. This is actually healing from a procedure I had done back in May of last year, which is trying to heal because I had a surgery, and that particular surgery, my tissues are taking a really long time to heal. So I have been dealing with that, and I didn't realize how painful tissue healing is. And then on top of that, I have other issues going on that also cause pain. So it's been a long road. But what the sermon pretty much spoke to me was even though I go through pain every day, even though it's not real comfortable here. It's not fun. I do have times when I have a fun time here and there, but for the most part, I'm uncomfortable and in pain most of the time. Even when I'm having fun, I'm comfortable and having pain. So, but at the same time, I had to look at, okay, here is holy, and what did that mean? Here is holy meant to me that although I may be going through those things, I have so many other things to be thankful for, to be grateful for, to thank God for. Because in every other area of my life, I have blessings on blessings on blessings. And I know that this time of me going through this physical pain, there's a reason, there's a purpose behind the pain. Obviously, I know that God is, I'm not allowing me to deal with this and just have no purpose behind it. So, what I do is when I do have the pain, I just go into, asking God, okay, first of all, just help me to get through it because many a day, well, most days, I don't operate on my own strength. I don't operate on my body pushing through what is God's, literally God's strength. There's like days I really have to just pray, Lord, just give me the strength to just get out the bed to go to the restroom. I mean, and there's days like today I'm like, just Lord, give me some type of relief while I have to go out to this appointment because it's pretty much what I do most of the time is go to doctor's appointments. I go out to eat sometimes, and again, still it's not like I'm not in pain when I'm eating, but I have to eat. So, but besides that, I mean, there are so many other things, and that's why I think that he wants the message he wants to me to deliver to you is that no matter what it is you're going through, whether it's mental pain, emotional pain, physical pain, whatever it is, just ask for his help. Never in my life have I had to ask for God's help on a daily, sometimes minute, sometimes second. I need his help. And I've never had to be that dependent on God. And I know that's why he has me here because when I'm not here, I don't focus as much on him. I don't acknowledge him as much. But when I'm in these days of back to 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 back issues, I'm constantly seeking him. Okay, Lord, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to teach me? Let me figure out what just show me what you need me to know. And in those times he's done just so much. Like I don't even share a majority of stuff that he does that is just is truly amazing. And you know that it's God. It's not just a coincidence. It's not just something that happens. You know that, okay, God was behind that, because that's the only way it could have happened that way. I mean, down to the point where I think it was like the last chemo I had or the one before, I was having really bad pain that day. And when I came in, I was kind of humped over, kind of crying. And so, just out of nowhere, this lady comes up to me and she was like, "Sweetie," she said, "I just want to let you know that you're going to be okay." She said, your she says the pain is gonna get worse before it gets better, but when it gets better, you're gonna be okay, and God has you. She said, "We're all in this together. We're all fighting the same fight." She said, "But no matter what, stay strong and keep going the course." And I know that that was God speaking to me at that point in time. So those types of things happen a lot. Like a lot of people that send me messages through Instagram, through Facebook, text messages, that are all basically saying the same thing: is that my strength to them is such something to admire. But like I tell people, being strong ain't fun. And we see that when people nowadays are committing suicide, and there's been a lot of suicides here lately. And I get it. Like, I never would have gotten that before, never. And I've never had really necessary suicidal thoughts, but there have definitely been times where it's just like, you know what, it just would be easier just to take something and not have to be in this pain all the time. So I get it now. I didn't get it before. Never had gotten that before. Would have never gotten it before because I wasn't in mind space to receive that. But now that I know that it's real. I know mental pain, mental anguish is real. I know emotional anguish is real. All of that is real. Don't discount that at all. Because like I said, people are taking their lives over it because they just can't handle day to day functions. And that's a lot, you know? But no matter what it is that you're going through, like I said, I can't speak for mental a person going through mental health issues, as far as like on a where they need to have medication, things like that. But if you're a person that just feels like, what's the point? Nobody loves me. Why? There's no reason for me to be here. You always have to consider the lives that you're going to affect if you make that decision. So I just hope that somebody listening to this message is, if you are contemplating it, to look around you, even if you don't may not have the best circumstances around you, that you mean something to somebody where it may be a stranger that may need to see your smile, where you just don't never know. So the mental health thing is really real. Like I said, I've gone through with dealing with this. I've gone through depression. I've never been a depressed person before, but I've definitely dealt with depression now. Like I said, I've never had necessary suicidal thoughts, but I definitely had thoughts of I just don't want to wake up the next day because it's just gonna be another day of pain. So I get it. Like I said, people like somebody where they have so much money, and that doesn't make a difference at all. It doesn't make a difference at all. Money does not equate to being happy. Sickness does not care about how much money you have. We see that with cancer all the time. Like, you can be a billionaire, and then if cancer is how you're gonna go out, there's nothing you can do about it. But at the same time, sometimes it is just a wilderness time, and I feel like I'm just in that wilderness time with God, because He is speaking to me. Like I said, He speaks way more than He ever has before. I've never really understood when people say, "Oh, well, my God spoke to me." Da, da, da. I'm like, I didn't know what that was, even though I went to church all the time. It was like, what does that even mean? Like, God spoke to you? What you talking about? Now I get it, because He speaks to me all the time in so many different ways, and I have to understand. Like, again, I said, here is holy. So no matter where your here is, whether if you're in a bad relationship, if you're in a job you hate, if you have kids that are just out in the streets doing over the good, if you're in an abusive relationship, if you're just unhappy and just depressed and can't get your mojo back or whatever it is, one thing that you can do is ask God for His help and continue to ask for His help, because that's what I do. He's never get tired of asking for His help, and I continue to do that. I'll ask 17,000 times a day, "Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord." And He always answers, always. Like I said, and then some prayers are delayed. Of course, I want this to be over, but just like He said in the sermon, you can't rush through the process, because basically what God is saying is that in the here and now, He's preparing you for there, which is your next level in life or your next step in life or your next journey in life, whatever it is. If you're unhappy in the here, you're going to be unhappy in the there, because no matter what it is, your mindset isn't going to change. It's because all of a sudden, oh, now you got rich. If you were unhappy poor, you're probably going to be unhappy rich. If you had an attitude problem while you were just barely making it, all of a sudden you come into something and now something changed, and you have this great person, you're still that miserable person. So ask God to change you in the now, and that's what I've been starting to do now. Is just change me. Whatever it is you need me to change, I'm willing to change it, because I don't want to do anything that is against what God wants me to do. And my here and now is just that. It is here and now. Here right now, I'm taking this chemo, something I never wanted to do, but it's something that I know I have to do. But at the same time, God is sustaining me every day. And there's so many times where I almost feel guilty, because I'm just like, how am I still here? And then people that were encouraging me are no longer here. That's a weird feeling to know that. I mean, it's a good amount of people that have wished me well and told me, "Oh, you're going to make it," and they're no longer here. So that lets you know that life is real. Life doesn't, like I said, it doesn't care how much money you have, and doesn't care what kind of car you drive. It doesn't do it. None of that. None of it. All of us can get sick. And like I said, cancer isn't something that I asked for. I didn't want cancer. Like somebody walks around and saying they want it. No, of course not. And I think that's a stigma with cancer patients, is that they feel bad for having a disease. But it's just like, we didn't ask for this disease. We didn't want this to happen to us. So, and I think that's why a lot of cancer patients are they're real secretive about their diagnosis. A lot of them, they don't want people to know. They don't want people to see them. And I get that. I get that everybody's different, but God knew that if He allowed me to have it, that I know that He knew that I would be the person that could be the person that would be kind of like almost like a spokesperson, to say that don't be ashamed. I mean, well, don't be ashamed if you got the disease. Again, it's not your fault. Just like any other thing. If you're in a bad relationship, don't be embarrassed if you're in a bad relationship or you're in an abusive relationship. It's not your fault. Not at all. Get out of it. I've been in one, and thank by the grace of God, I got out of it. Thank God, with my life, because some people don't make it out with their life. Some people, that's how they die. So, all right, guys, I think they're bringing my. No, it's not my chemo. That's somebody else's. Um, but basically, just what the whole sermon was about was the here is holy. I'm gonna post it on Facebook. It's like a 2 hour sermon, but it's so relevant, and it's like I said, spoke directly to my heart, because I have to stop thinking about how long, what's happened in the past, because I can't go back and change it. And I can't be worried about what's in the future, because I don't know what's going to happen. So I have to know that I'm here in the now, and the here and the now is holy. This is where God wants me to be, because this is my training ground for me to go to wherever the next place He has for me to go. And without this training, or without these things happening, I wouldn't be prepared when I got there. So like I said, it's different when your pain has a purpose than if you're just going through pain. When I recognize that my pain has a purpose, so it makes it a little bit easier to tolerate. But I mean, pain is pain. Physical pain is physical pain. But again, I go through it every day because I get through it every day because I know that there's a greater purpose. So, all right, guys, I don't talk to you enough to talk your head off. So, like I said, I just wanted to put the message out there. It's Michael Todd. It's Here is Holy, and it's a great, awesome sermon. Because again, if you're a person that feels as though you are unhappy in the place you are in your life right now, it's a great sermon to watch, because it lets you know that this is what you're going through. Like I said, for a long time, I felt like this pain, what I was going through, was like a punishment. And I'm like, it's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. It's things that I have to go through in order to do the things that God needs me and wants me to do. So, I could have made different decisions earlier on, years ago, but I don't think those decisions would have got me to where I am today. And I don't even know if I would even go back and change anything, because I've experienced so much, and I don't know if I would have had those same experiences if I had made a different decision years ago. So, all right, you guys. Like I said, the pain medicine I think finally kicked in, so I feel better. And this chemo only takes an hour, so we're only 15 minutes into it, and After that, I'm going home and laying back down and taking some more pain medicine. So I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for allowing me to speak to you guys. I hope you all made it through the whole video to the end. And I will speak to you all again soon. But remember, Mike Todd here is holy. Right here, right now is holy. So know that. Believe it. Receive it. Walk in it. Okay? Deuces.